Good day to everyone. Today I will discussing about run-on sentences. To begin our lesson, I'm gonna show you two sentences. First, I love to write papers. I would write one day if I had the time. Second, Sally loves sports. She is a big fan of basketball. Which of the two has correct structure? If you think it's the first sentence, then you are wrong. And if you think it's second one, then you're also wrong. Because these two are example of run-on sentences. Let's define run-on sentences. Run-on sentence occurs when two or more independent clauses put together without the correct punctuation or capitalization. A reader cannot tell where one sentence ends and the next one begins. When we say independent clause, it is a group of words that can stand alone as a sentence. There are two types of run-on sentence. First is what we call fused sentence, which occurs when independent clauses run together with no marks of punctuation or coordinating conjunction to separate them. The other one is comma splice, which occurs when two or more independent clauses are joined only by a comma. Going back to our sentences, the first one is an example of fused sentence, while the other is an example of comma splice. There are few ways on how we can correct run-on sentences. First is adding a period to create separate sentences. The easiest way to fix a run-on is to split the sentence into smaller sentences using a period. This revision works especially well with longer sentences. Let's get the first sentence. I love to write papers. I would write one every day if I had the time. And the revision will be, I love to write papers. I would write one every day if I had the time. You just need to put a period between the two independent clauses to separate them into two sentences. Second way is by adding a semicolon between the clauses. Inserting a semicolon between independent clauses creates a grammatically correct sentence. Using a semicolon is a stylistic choice that establishes a close relationship between the two sentences. From the example, the revision will be, I love to write papers, then put the semicolon, I would write one every day if I had the time. Third is adding a comma with the coordinating conjunctions. A comma paired with the coordinating conjunction corrects a run-on sentences. This method emphasizes the relationship between the two clauses. The revision for the example will be, I love to write papers, comma, then add a coordinating conjunction for the example and I would write one every day if I had the time. To memorize the different coordinating conjunction, remember fun voice, for and nor, but, or, yet, and so. Lastly is by adding a subordinating conjunctions. Turn one of the independent clauses into a dependent clauses. A subordinating conjunction connects two clauses to create a complex sentences. Some examples of subordinating conjunctions are before, after, unless, although, because, even if, and since. This option works to cement the relationship between the two parts of the sentence and may improve the flow of the clauses. To revise the example, let's turn the first independent clause into dependent clauses by adding because. It will be like this. Because I love to write papers, comma, I would write one every day if I had the time. Applying what we have learned a while ago, let us identify a run-on sentence beginning with a question. Does the sentence contain two pairs of subjects and predicates? If the answer is no, then it's not a run-on sentence. No need for revision, but if it is yes, then we'll go on to the next question. A Are the clauses joined with a comma and coordinating conjunction? If yes, then it's not a run-on sentence. No revision necessary, but if no, we'll proceed to another question. Are the clauses joined with a semicolon, colon, or dash? If yes, then it's not a run-on sentence. No need to revise, but if the answer is no, then we will go to the last question. Is one subject or predicate pair inside the prepositional or subordinate phrase? If yes, then it's not a run-on sentence. No revision needed, but if it is no, then it's a run-on sentence that needs revision. To end up this lesson, I will give you some motivational quote from Rachel Walshin. It's not how we make mistakes, but how we correct them that defines us. That would be all. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for listening.